actually got to go visit it and take some pictures. It's changed a little bit since that picture was taken. It looks like it's going to be developed within a couple months, but I managed to get there before that happened. Unfortunately, it's a cloudy day, so you can't really see the sunlight on the lot, but there's those trees aren't high enough to block out really the sun coming in from the south, and there's no other buildings there, so it'll have open sunlight from the south. Alright, so once I learned all this about green building, I decided I needed to start designing my house. These are some of the initial sketches I made. I went through many drafts in the course of this. I wanted a house that was long and narrow with most of its, with respect to the south side. I could position a lot of windows along the south side. I also wanted to position the more heavily used rooms in the south so that they would be kept warm throughout the day, and the rooms that weren't used as often in the north so that they didn't have to be heated. Here's a couple more sketches that I went through before reaching a final design. Alright, and this is a rough sketch of the final design I settled on. It's long and narrow, it's relatively small, only 1,500 square feet plus a garage. And I still ended up making several changes to this before the final product, but this is the design I worked with and the one that you'll see momentarily. Alright, so once I'd had that, I needed to actually draw plans. I wanted to make my drawings in AutoCAD, which is a professional drafting software used by architects and engineers. And so in order to do this, I needed to learn how to use it. Unfortunately, AutoCAD is a very non-user-friendly program. It doesn't follow any of the standard principles that we're used to. It doesn't have any drag and drop functionality. In order to move an object, you need to type in the command move, select the object, select the starting point, ending point, and it's all numbers-based, so you enter numbers instead of actually drawing good lines. Very slow to learn, very slow to draw with. I managed to get a little bit faster with it as I used it, but it does produce accurate and professional-looking drawings. And the way I taught myself to use this was, I got a manual for it and read through most of this thing. Not the funnest part of the project, but it let me use the program. While I was working through this, I actually managed to find another program called SketchUp, which is a 3D modeling program that's actually provided free through Google. It's versatile and really easy to learn. I was able to use the program within 5 minutes with no sort of tutorial at all, and drew up some models in that I'll present for you today. It comes with a lot of useful features. For one, it's able to communicate with Google Earth, so I could input the coordinates of the lot I found. It calculated the longitude and latitude. I can turn on the sun so that it can cast shadows based on where it is on the globe, and also pasted a picture of the lot to scale on the ground so I could place the house within the lot itself. Alright, so this is the final plan that I drew up in AutoCAD. Alright, so it has the master bedroom along the south and east side so that it gets the morning sun as well as it's heated throughout the day. I used an open floor plan for most of the house. The kitchen, living room, dining room don't have any dividing walls. They're just a big open area, which helps to create the sense of a bigger house with less square footage. I tried to use as few hallways in this house as possible because they eat up square footage without really providing any noticeable benefit to a house. And there's also a central wall around through the entire house running east to west, with bedrooms and guest rooms on the north side and the more heavily used common area on the south side. It's a 3-bedroom, 3-bath house, 1,500 square feet plus a 2-car garage. Alright, so floor plans are good for displaying dimensions and technical information. What does this house actually look like? So look at a picture of the house from the south side that I did up in SketchUp on a sunny day. Alright, this is from a slightly different angle. You can see there's, along the roof here, what are known as clerestory windows. There's windows set high up in the roof that help to bring light back into the house. I actually put some windows in this central wall that gives light all the way into the north rooms of the house. On a sunny day, this house is going to be so brightly lit you probably don't even need to turn a single light on. Alright, so this is a picture of the master bedroom. I actually set the settings for today in the morning. That's what the sun's going to look like. I can manipulate the time of day and the day of the year, and it'll calculate sun angles for me. This is also just a picture of the great room looking out from the kitchen. Alright, and then for a comparison between winter and summer sun based on those overhangs. In the winter, the light penetrates deep into this room all the way to the back wall, whereas in the summer it's blocked up nearly completely. There's nearly no sun that enters the house, which prevents it from overheating. Alright, and this is one of the bedrooms along the north side. This one's sitting on the bed looking up through the windows. You can see how the light comes in through the clerestories. And then this is looking from the door at the back wall of the room, where you can see the light falling on the back wall. This will help to keep the north rooms and also provide sunlight. These windows, I haven't drawn them in, but they would have shutters of some sort that can either diffuse the light. If you, for instance, if you wanted to use a computer or draw something and didn't want harsh shadows, you could put down like a paper screen that the light can get through, but it's not as harsh. They also probably just have shutters that you can close off entirely if you wanted it dark. Alright, so what are some of the green features of this house? Well, in addition to collecting energy from the sun, I also wanted to use rainwater collection. Since this is Seattle, we have a lot of rain. In addition to that, this house will recycle gray water, which is water from sinks and sinks and washing machines, which can be reused for certain applications, and also using solar hot water to heat the water without needing to use extra fuel. In order to improve on its goal of being energy efficient, this house has nearly airtight insulation and very thick insulation. It has good insulation value and doesn't lose a lot of heat to the outdoors. It's wired for photovoltaic panels so that they can be added later. There aren't actually any on the house at the moment because it's not a necessity on a solar house to be able to generate your own electricity. At the moment, it still takes a large number of years for solar panels to pay back in savings, so maybe once the cost comes down later owner can retrofit them without much hassle because it's set up to encourage that. Also, this house would be built using some efficient building techniques, some of which are in the design, some of which would be in construction, and some sustainable materials. Alright, so a large portion of this house's heat is provided by solar energy, but we do need some backup heat because this is Seattle. We do have our long cloudy periods. There's a natural gas furnace, relatively small for backup heat, that forces air through ducts. It's the most common type of heating in residential applications. And the nice bit about having the return duct in the slab is that warm air is drawn through the slab and is preheated before it gets to the furnace, which increases the furnace's efficiency. Already we've been buying a relatively high efficiency model of gas furnace, and any heat more you can get is great. The blower can also be used without the furnace to increase the airflow throughout the house. Alright, ventilation. Because this house is practically airtight, it does not breathe naturally. Air does not seep in from the outside. It has to be exchanged somehow or else the air will grow stale. So mechanical systems